Fortune is the arbiter of one half of our actions, but she still leaves us to direct the other half. The reason your life is slipping out of your hands is usually not that you are untalented. The real reason is that you silently spend your time on things that add no value to you. Understand this well. The first throne where power is formed is time. Before a person manages their money, they must manage their time. Before influencing people, they must learn to manage their attention. Before asking others for respect, they must respect their own time. If the first thing you do when you wake up is grab your phone, your mind has already fallen into someone else's hands. If you close your eyes at night with excuses, your future is silently slipping away from you. If you run to every notification, enter every argument, and fill every empty opportunity you create with entertainment, then the control of your life is not actually in your hands. You are only reacting. Machiavelli would not state this truth softly. The world does not reward the person who is available at every moment. It uses them like a puppet. A person who answers every call, replies to every message immediately, reacts to every insult, and fills every empty moment with noise is easy to read, easy to exhaust, easy to control. But the person who protects their time is different. That is why they appear more valuable. Reaching them becomes harder. They turn into someone more mysterious. They do not lose their attention easily. They do not get pulled into the empty cycles everyone else is dragged into. And most importantly, they become harder to direct. Power is not born from showing off. It does not feed on noise. It does not develop through trying to prove yourself. Power begins with using your calendar. It begins with being disciplined. It begins when you feel guilt while saying no. It begins when people are trying to figure you out while you are silently building yourself. Write this sentence in the comments. My time is my throne. Write this not only to leave a comment, but to make a promise to yourself. Because every moment you waste is a piece you cut from your own kingdom and hand to the enemy. And every moment you keep under control is a weapon gaining power in your hand. Stop telling yourself, I am too tired. Sometimes you are not tired. You are only scattered. Stop saying, luck never finds me. Sometimes the problem is not luck. You have simply lost your focus. Stop saying, I do not have time. Most of the time, it is not that you do not have time. It is that the control of your time is not in your hands. Turn your day into a fortress. Protect your focus like gold. Let other people chase entertainment, gossip, empty arguments, and temporary pleasures. You sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, control your money wisely, clarify your goal. And when people one day see that you have changed, do not give them information about this journey. Let the results speak. Because real power begins the moment you no longer feel the need to explain yourself. Now you have understood the first rule. Manage your time. But managing your time alone will no longer be enough. Because even if you protect your time, if you cannot take control of your tongue, your power is still flowing out of your hands. Second rule, manage your tongue. Your tongue is either your sharpest sword or your weakest side. Most people do not lose their power because of their foolishness. They lose it because their voices are louder than necessary. They lose it because they speak too early. They lose it because they speak to the wrong people. They reveal their plans before they have become strong enough. They share their pain with people who secretly enjoy listening to it. They lay their biggest goals in front of people who are ready to belittle them. They try to defend themselves in front of people who have already decided to misunderstand them. Listen to this carefully. Every unnecessary word gives the world a new handle to hold you by. The more you explain yourself, the more you reveal your weak points. The more you speak, the easier you are to read. The more you defend yourself, the more you wear yourself down. Machiavelli would see silence not as emptiness, but as a strategy. The less you speak, the more people think. When you make your moves silently, it becomes harder to predict you. When everyone gives up trying to understand you, your value rises, because you are no longer stepping onto the stage for the approval of others. A dangerous person does not use words to make themselves look powerful. They use words like a sharp knife. Clean, controlled, only as much as necessary. If your words come from your anger, then you are not yet powerful. If being alone pushes you to confess, if your pride drags you into explaining your next move, then you are still easy to reach. From today on, use your mouth as carefully as a loaded weapon. Do not tell everyone what wounded you. Do not tell everyone what you are building. Do not explain to everyone whom you love, what you fear, how much you earn, where you are going, and whom you hate. Protect your inner world. Let people see the result, not the method. Write this sentence in the comments. My silence is my strategy. Because the more noise you make, the more your mystery disappears. And as your mystery disappears, you lose your power. People cannot easily target someone they cannot fully figure out. They cannot easily block a plan no one knows about. They cannot use your own words as weapons against you. Speak when you have the advantage. Stay silent when your silence creates a stronger effect. Learn to pause before answering. When you are insulted, do not respond immediately. Let fools expose themselves. You keep your calm. The loud man tries to prove that he is dangerous. The silent man makes it felt. Take control of your tongue and stop consuming your power with careless words. Third rule, manage your anger. Your anger is the door your enemies want you to leave open. When they can make you angry, they begin to predict you. When they push you into reacting, they can control you. When they force you to shout, defend yourself, explain, or attack, the control is no longer in your hands. Anger is not always power. Most of the time, anger is information escaping from an undisciplined mind. A weak man explodes because he wants everyone to see the pain he has suffered. A strong man remains calm because he wants those around him to feel his control. Machiavelli would not want you to reveal every emotion. He would not want you to deny your emotions either. He would tell you this: manage your emotions, but do not become their slave. When someone belittles you, study them carefully. When you catch someone's betrayal, record it in your memory. When someone tries to provoke you, do not reward them with your reaction. Give them your silence. Give them your distance. Make them feel that they can no longer shake you as easily as before. This is what it means to be dangerous without making noise. Your anger must become a room not everyone can access. Not because you feel nothing, but because you decide when, where, and how to use your energy. Write this sentence in the comments. My calmness is my command. Because calmness is not weakness. Calmness is the dominance a person creates over themselves. A man who controls himself is hard for others to manage. Do not allow disrespect to drag you into small conflicts. Do not allow small people to make you smaller. Do not try to prove your power by making noise. Real power is being able to make the person in front of you pay attention even when you speak softly. Real power is being able to walk away when your ego demands revenge. Real power is being able to remain silent until your mind becomes clear. People test your anger. They want to see where your wound is. They mock you to understand whether you need approval. They disrespect you to see how solid your identity is. Do not give them proof. Smile. Observe. Step back. Improve. Then become so successful that your success becomes the answer they did not want to hear. Take control of your anger so that insult, pressure, rejection, or betrayal can no longer control you. Fourth rule, manage your trust. Trust is not something you give as a gift just because someone smiles at you. Trust is a privilege earned over time, through pressure, silence, and proof. Most people are destroyed because they mistake closeness for loyalty. They think someone's kind words mean good intentions. They think laughing together means trust. They mistake the past for loyalty. They think shared pain is a permanent bond. But people do not reveal their true character in an easy life. True character appears when power, money, jealousy, competition, and opportunity appear. That is why you must manage your trust, not like a suspicious person, but as someone awake. A weak man trusts quickly because he is hungry for connection. A disciplined man follows patterns. He observes what people laugh at. He observes what they envy. He notices when they change. He watches how they treat people who are of no use to them. He does not hate people. He studies them. He does not allow every smiling face into his life. He lets people prove themselves over time. Understand this. The person laughing with you today may compete with you tomorrow. The person asking about your dream may secretly wish for you to fail. The person calling you brother may only love the version of you that is beneath them. This is not cruelty. This is awareness. Write this sentence in the comments. My trust is not given, it is earned. Because the protection of your peace depends on this. Stop telling everyone about your weakness. Do not allow people who have not proven their loyalty under pressure into your inner world. Do not mistake attention for love. Do not confuse praise with respect. Do not assume the past means loyalty. Some people may have known you for years, but they still may not deserve to enter your inner world. Trust must be built layer by layer. Before trusting people fully, give limited trust. First, share harmless things. Do not immediately reveal secrets that could wound you. Observe how they behave when they are disappointed. Do not forget the words they use when you win. Observe whether they protect your name when you are not present. Betrayal usually does not enter through the enemy's door. It enters through the door you left open and called friendship. Keep that door closed until the character of those you call friends has been proven. Be kind, but do not be an easy target. Be respectful, but do not be readable to everyone. Be generous, but do not be foolish. Let your circle shrink until only loyal people remain around you. The fewer people who know about your plans, the fewer hands there are that can ruin them. The fewer people who know your pain, the fewer mouths there are that can use it. Manage your trust and stop being someone who is easily accessible, easily manipulated, and easily betrayed. Fifth rule, become someone who is hard to direct. When you take control of your time, your tongue, your anger, and your trust, something interesting happens. Those who could easily reach you now feel your distance. Those who used to anger you easily become powerless. Those who could easily read you are now surprised, and that surprise becomes your advantage. A man whose moves are predictable is easy to direct. A man who cannot manage his emotions is easy to direct. A needy man is easy to buy, but a disciplined man becomes a problem for everyone who benefits from the weakness of others. At that point, you stop being someone who is managed and turn into a power that commands respect. Machiavelli understood this well. Control is not always created with chains. Sometimes it comes through praise. Sometimes it comes through guilt. Sometimes it comes through fear, desire, attention, habit, and a sense of obligation. Some people do not give you orders. They simply learn what you are hungry for and feed it when they demand obedience. They learn your insecurities and touch them exactly when they want a reaction. They learn your loyalty and use it to normalize their disrespect. That is why you must become someone impossible to control. Not cruel, not heartless, controlled. The difference is enormous. A controlled man does not rush to prove himself. He does not panic when someone ignores him. He does not collapse immediately when affection is withdrawn. When money comes late, when the plan breaks, when people change, he does not lose his mind. He studies the situation. He protects his dignity. He adjusts his move. This is cold power, not looking dangerous, but becoming someone manipulation cannot reach. Write this sentence in the comments. I cannot be controlled. Declare it like a law carved into your bones. Because when people understand that they cannot buy your time, provoke your tongue, ignite your anger, or rush your trust, their behavior toward you changes. Some show respect. Some feel resentment. Both reactions are proof that you have changed. Do not be afraid of being misunderstood. What you should fear is being too readable. Do not fear that people are moving away from you. Fear keeping people who stayed only because you were soft, useful, always available, and silent about your own pain. From today on, let your emotions pass through your filter before they turn into action. Let your words pass through strategy before they leave your mouth. Let your loyalty pass through observation before it turns into sacrifice. Let your time pass through your purpose before it is handed to someone. This is how immunity is built. You create internal boundaries. You stop giving unlimited access. You stop explaining every decision to people who have not paid the price of your future. Let them call you cold. Let them say you have changed. Let them call you distant. They are only experiencing the pain of losing the old version of you they could direct. The new you does not move for applause. It does not bow through guilt. It does not exhaust itself for people who appear only when they need you. You become calm enough to wait, selective enough to protect yourself, disciplined enough to rise, and strong enough to walk away when necessary. When a man can free himself from attention, approval, anger, and betrayal, the world loses its dominance over him. Sixth rule: build a presence that commands respect. There comes a period in a person's life when they must stop demanding respect and become someone who is difficult to disrespect. Respect is not begged for. Respect is built. It is built through such consistent behavior that people eventually stop questioning your seriousness. When you control your time, people realize that your hours are valuable. When you control your tongue, they learn that your words carry weight. When you control your anger, they learn that you cannot be pushed into childish storms. When you control your trust, they learn that access to you is not cheap. When all of these come together, your presence changes. Your entrance into a room is no longer the same. You speak less and observe more. Belittling jokes no longer seem funny to you. You do not expose your boundaries more than necessary. You do not chase people who are unsure about choosing you. This is not arrogance. This is structure. A person without structure becomes whatever shape the world drags them into. A person with structure becomes the standard. Machiavelli knew the importance of appearance because people feel power before they understand it. Your posture, your silence, your timing, your discipline, your distance, and your decisions speak before you open your mouth. If you give a scattered impression, people test you. If you give a desperate impression, they bargain with your dignity. If you give the impression that you are always available, they divide your mission. But when you carry yourself like someone directed by a purpose, even your silence turns into authority. Write this sentence in the comments. My presence commands respect. Because you are not building a louder personality, but a heavier presence. Be someone whose presence makes even unserious people correct their tone. Be someone who makes manipulators think twice. A presence that tells the people in the room, without making noise, you cannot manage me. But understand this clearly. Presence is not built through imitation. It is built through proof. Your body must reflect discipline. Your calendar must reflect your priorities. Your speech must reflect control. Your eyes must reflect awareness. Your decisions must reflect self-respect. If you're lazy in your private life, your presence cannot hide it in public. If you are weak when no one is watching, your confidence looks fake when everyone is watching. That is why you must work in the dark. Build in silence. Correct yourself ruthlessly. Stop making promises to yourself that you break before evening. Every broken promise weakens your spirit. Every kept promise sharpens your authority. If you betray yourself at every moment, you cannot expect respect from others. This is the hidden war. Before others respect you, your impulses must obey you. Your laziness must bow. Your need for approval must submit to your will. Your hunger for attention must submit to your will. Your anger must bow. Your fear must bow. Only then do people feel the weight of your inner kingdom. Raise the price. Withdraw from disrespect without drama. Reward loyalty with access. Punish betrayal with distance. Stop explaining yourself to people who do not want to understand you. Stop trying to appear warm to people who survive by exploiting your warmth. Be kind but clear. Be calm but unshakable. Be private but powerful. Let your life become proof that you are no longer the person they used to be able to manage. Seventh rule: turn discipline into silent power. Discipline is not the flashiest side of power, but it is the foundation of real power. Without discipline, ambition is nothing but empty noise. Your dreams remain only words. Your plans become fantasies. Your confidence becomes decoration placed on top of weakness. Carve this into your mind. The world does not bow to potential. It bows to proof, and proof is built through continuous discipline. It appears when no one applauds, when no one watches, when no one cares whether you rise or not. Most people have already lost exactly at this point. They desire the crown, but they do not want to carry its weight. They demand respect, but reject the routine that creates it. They want power, but they do not want the lonely hours that build it. Do not leave your salvation in the hands of motivation. Motivation is a guest. Discipline is a soldier. Motivation begins to form when life is easy. Discipline remains when your body is tired. It remains when your mind becomes heavy. It remains when your friends scatter. It remains when your old habits kneel in front of you, begging you to return. That is why discipline is silent power. It does not announce itself. It accumulates. A controlled morning, a rejected temptation, a completed task, a finished workout, a promise kept, a distraction ignored. The weak version of you inside slowly begins to starve over time because you no longer feed it with excuses. Write this sentence in the comments. My discipline is my power. Because discipline is the path to becoming someone people cannot recognize, cannot predict, and cannot easily deal with. While others drown in emotional chaos, you build structure. While they talk about what they will do, you do what they are afraid to do. While they move toward comfort, you force comfort to bow to you. Stop negotiating with laziness. Stop treating your mood like a king. Do not allow your tiredness to determine your future. A dangerous person does not wait to feel ready. He takes action because his mission requires it. He does not ask permission from his emotions. He orders them to step aside. A disciplined person does not constantly wait for encouragement. He does not need everyone to understand him. He does not wait for his journey to be applauded. He becomes someone governed from within. And if a person continues long enough, disbelief is replaced by silence. Silence turns into attention. Attention turns into respect. Respect turns into submission. This is how people bow. Not because you demanded it, but because your consistency has become undeniable. Build your discipline like a hidden empire. Wake up before your excuses gain power. Train before comfort takes over your body. Sharpen your mind before the world fills it with noise. Protect your focus before people begin trying to rent your attention. Finish what you started even when the excitement is gone, especially where the excitement ends. That is exactly where the real person is formed. 8th rule: make your absence stronger than your presence. A person's real power appears when their absence is felt more than their presence. If you are always around, if you always answer, if you are always available, if you explain everything, people eventually stop feeling your weight. They get used to your energy. They begin to use your forgiveness comfortably. They begin to see your presence as something that will always be there. This is how value dies. Not because you have no value, but because you have made access to yourself too easy. Machiavelli understood that distance builds authority. Someone who is always among the crowd eventually becomes part of the crowd. The person who appears with timing stays in memory. This does not mean you should disappear to manipulate people. It means you must stop providing unlimited access to the life you are trying to strengthen. Your absence is not a punishment. It is protection. It is the wall around your focus. It is proof that the world does not collapse when someone's interest fades, when they cut off their attention, or when they try to make you chase them. Most people begin to panic when someone pulls away. They send more messages, they explain more, they beg more, they perform more. And inside that performance, they reveal their weakness. A controlled person does the opposite. When the energy changes, he first observes. Where respect decreases, his presence withdraws. When loyalty becomes unclear, he creates distance. He does not explain his distance. He does not give long speeches about how much he is suffering. He simply takes his time, his tongue, his anger, and his trust back under his own command. Write this sentence in the comments. My absence has power. Because you must learn not only to be seen, but to be missed. People do not respect what they can constantly access. People respect those who have standards, direction, and the power to leave. One of the greatest powers is the ability to leave when necessary. Leave conversations that drain you. Leave rooms that make you smaller. Move away from people who value you only when you are useful. Give up habits that cause you to remain weak. Abandon the old self that keeps returning to places where your dignity is discounted. Do this silently. Do this cleanly. Do this without begging the world to understand. When you pull your energy away from the place that drains you, you send a message stronger than words. Access to me is difficult. Respect is necessary. Loyalty is noticed. Disrespect is remembered. A person who does not know how to withdraw cannot negotiate. He has become a slave to his need. This may be called love, friendship, loyalty, patience, or forgiveness. But if he cannot detach from what dishonors him, he is not loyal. He is captive. Do not get caught. Let your purpose be so strong that losing one person's approval does not consume your soul. Let your discipline be so strong that someone else's silence does not destroy your identity. Let your self-respect be so solid that you do not need to punish anyone. You simply move beyond their access. Some people will call you cold because they can no longer warm themselves with your energy. Some will see it as arrogance because you have stopped making yourself smaller for their comfort. And some will return with a softer voice because your absence has shown them how valuable your presence was. Some, however, will quietly disappear completely. Let them go. Ninth rule: make your results your revenge. After a certain level, you must stop explaining your pain and turn it into results. Not complaints, not noise, not dramatic explanations. Results. Stop constantly explaining who hurt you, who underestimated you, who ignored you, who talked behind your back. The language the world truly respects is results. According to Machiavelli, he would not tell a person to beg blind people to accept their value. He would tell them to build so powerfully that recognition becomes inevitable. This is the coldest revenge. Not taking revenge. Not chasing people to demand answers. Not poisoning your mind by feeding it with hatred. The coldest revenge is building such a disciplined, controlled, private, successful, and powerful character that those who underestimated you are forced to face a version of you they can no longer reach. Understand this clearly. Your pain is not special unless you turn it into productivity. Everyone has been betrayed one day. Everyone has been doubted one day. Everyone has felt shame one day. Everyone has felt ignored, worthless, forgotten, or disrespected one day. The difference is the choice you make after the wound. A weak person turns pain into anger. A dangerous person turns pain into structure. He turns humiliation into fuel. He turns rejection into silence. He turns betrayal into training. He turns disrespect into a boundary line. Stop asking, why did they do this to me? Start asking, which version of me allowed this, tolerated this, stayed here too long? This question hurts, but it produces power. Write this sentence in the comments. My results will speak. Because the next level does not need more talking. It needs execution. Every time you want to argue, work. Every time you want to pour out your emotions, train. Every time you want to prove your loyalty to those who question you with doubt, prove your standards to yourself. Every time you want revenge, level up. People wait for the day you give up. They wait for you to make a closing speech. They wait for you to reveal your anger. They wait for you to remain the same because your old version gave them comfort. Surprise them with discipline. Surprise them with distance. Surprise them with silence. Surprise them with a life that makes their old judgments look foolish. Build your mind. Build your body. Build your relationship with money. Build your skill. Build your emotional control. Slowly build your circle. Carefully build your future. Do not announce the plan. Do not gather an audience around the construction site. Do not expect applause before the foundation dries. Work until your results become so visible that even your silence serves as an explanation. And when they return, because some of them will, do not let the intoxication of that moment manage you. Do not open your doors again just because someone finally realized your value. A delayed compliment does not always mean loyalty. Sometimes it is only hunger returning after the table has been set. Remember who applauded you when you had nothing. Remember who disappeared when you needed strength. Remember who mocked your discipline before it produced a reward. Results should turn you into a wiser person, not a looser one. Success must not make you forget the lessons pain taught you. 10th rule: become someone no one can move from their place. In the end, power is not about making noise. It is about becoming unshakable. A person who controls their time cannot be wasted. A person who controls their tongue does not easily expose themselves. A person who controls their anger cannot be easily provoked. A person who controls their trust cannot be easily betrayed. When these four come together, you become a fortress wrapped in human skin. You stop living by reacting to other people's behavior. You do not allow messages, moods, gossip, opinions, delays, disrespect, or disappointments to determine who you will become. You choose. That is the final victory. Choice. A weak person goes in the direction the world pushes him. A strong person finds his direction through his own will. Machiavelli knew that every emperor would collapse when he lost control inside the palace. Your palace is your mind. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life will also be chaotic. Unprotected emotions open the door to cheap decisions. If your attention is for sale, your future is rented by people who do not care about your destiny. That is why you must become the ruler of your inner palace. Guard the doors. You decide what enters your life, who stays, and what deserves your voice, your anger, your loyalty, and your hours. Write this sentence in the comments. I am the ruler of myself. Because all sovereignty begins here. Not over others. Over yourself. A person who cannot control himself only seeks power outside himself, and the world silently laughs at this. But a person who controls himself carries a completely different energy. He does not need to threaten. He does not need to try to impress people. He does not chase. He simply moves with such clear standards that people either adapt or disappear. Let them disappear. You don't exist to belong to the crowd. You exist to become sharper. Some people are not losses. They are distractions placed in front of your destiny. Some rejections are not failures. They are doors closing before weakness enters your future. Some betrayals are not endings. They are lessons delivered through people who were not meant to stay. Learn, but do not collapse. Feel, but do not surrender. Value, but do not neglect yourself. To remain kind without becoming fragile. To remain good without becoming exploitable. To remain loyal without becoming blind. To remain ambitious without making noise. This is real power. From this moment on, build your life like a throne room. Your time is the throne. Your tongue is the sword. Your anger is the shield. Your trust is the door. When the throne is not protected, thieves fill it. If the sword is not controlled, it wounds you. If the shield is weak, every insult pierces you. If the door remains open, betrayal enters with a smile. Protect all four. Master all four. Then watch how the world changes. People will not always admit your growth, but they will feel it. They will feel it when you stop caring about chaos. They will feel it when you stop defending your silence. They will feel it when you do not return to disrespect. They will feel it when your results rise so high that they can no longer be ignored. And when they one day bow before you, do not lose your character. Stay disciplined. Stay private. Stay calm. The crown becomes heavy on the head of a fool. Carry your crown with control. If this message awakens something in you, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the next level of your mind will not build itself. Before you go, write one final sentence in the comments. I am the ruler of myself. This is your declaration. This is your warning. This is the line between the old you and the person no one can move from their place.